Hi, I'm Matthew the Beauty Shaper, and today I'll be sharing information about the macronutrient carbohydrate and what it does for the body. Carbohydrates are an essential macronutrient, just like protein and fat. They're basically sugars and starches, and they serve as energy for the body. There's starch and fiber in complex carbohydrates, and the body turns them into glucose for energy. On the other hand, simple carbs are basically sugar, fructose, and glucose. And when carbohydrates enter the body, they're turned into galactose, glucose, and fructose. And the excess amount of glucose is basically converted to glycogen. And it's stored in the muscles and liver. And you can boost energy levels. When exercising, glycogen in the body turns back into glucose and used as fuel. Most of the glycogen is stored in the muscles. So the more muscles you have in your body, the more glycogen will be stored there. For every 1 gram of glycogen, 3 grams of water is stored in the body, and this can cause weight gain. This water weight is sometimes confused as fat gain. If there is sufficient glycogen in the body for a day or two, the amount of total carbohydrates consumed will be more important than how much is consumed throughout the day. Many people rightly believe that consuming low carbs equals weight loss. In some cases, when the goal is to lose fat, it can be effective. But when you're trying to gain muscle, low carbs may not be the way to go. There's something called the LHVTA loop. This loop is basically what controls cravings of carbs and sugars. The low carb loop can be detrimental when you're trying to lose weight, and worse, it can actually contribute to weight gain. The low-carb diet can cause cravings and feelings that you're sacrificing desired foods just to lose weight. Eventually, you might even give in to the cravings, and that's why so many people on diets eventually give up. It's good to remember that carbohydrates give the body energy, and depriving the body of carbohydrates too much isn't always healthy. And worse, not eating enough carbs daily for a prolonged period of time can actually lead to concentration problems, sluggishness, loss of energy, and loss of muscle. The difference between simple carbs and complex carbs is how fast the body absorbs them. Complex carbs digest slower than simple carbs, and they're one of the 3 macronutrients that help the body maintain balance in the body. As I mentioned before, carbohydrates are fuel for the body, and they support the central nervous system, including the brain, muscular system, and kidneys. And when they're broken down into glucose, the excess amount is stored as glycogen with the help of insulin. When there's an excess amount of carbs in the liver and has stored enough glycogen in the liver for muscle production, the rest of the carbs are stored as fat. Simple carbohydrates give an immediate and sudden spike in sugar. And since these carbohydrates break down faster, they don't have a chance to turn into glycogen. One way to know if your body doesn't have enough carbs is if you have brain fog. Diets with a low carbohydrate intake can actually help you lose fat at a fast pace. But the drawback of consuming less than the daily recommended amount is that it can cause muscle loss too. The term for muscle loss from not having enough carbohydrates is called catabolism. During this time, the body seeks out other sources of energy. And this is when the body starts breaking down muscle. The daily amount of carbohydrates for athletes should be around 2.7 grams to 4.5 grams per pound of body weight. That may seem like a lot, but think of Michael Phelps. He was 6'4", and he consumed about 7,000 to 8,000 calories during training days. That's a lot, but he's a big guy. For non-athletes, the recommended carbohydrate intake is around 45% to 65% of an individual's total daily intake. Something to be aware of is that the brain needs glucose to thrive. And for this reason, the minimum recommended daily allowance for carbohydrates is 130 grams for the average person. Now, junk food is full of simple carbs, and it can give you an energy rush. Also, simple carbs are found in refined or processed foods such as white bread, and they break down quickly in the body. On a daily basis, men under 50 should consume around 38 grams of fiber, while women should have around 25 grams of fiber. Men older than 50 should have at least 30 grams, and women over 50 should have around 21 grams of fiber. Something important to remember is that it's always better to eat complex carbohydrates instead of simple carbohydrates. There's a lot more information about carbs that I can talk about, but that would make this video hours long, and I don't want to do that. I discuss a lot more information about carbohydrates, including how much carbs you should consume to build muscle, in my book that I plan to publish when I get enough of a following and enough people interested in it. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the information that I shared with you, and you can also join my Facebook group. It's called The Beauty Shaper. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And never forget that you are significant in this world. And without you, this world would have one less smiling face to share. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great day.